So, this is neither a support video for North Korea or the United States. I'm American. I'm just speaking my thoughts off of what I've been studying for the past several years. So, I want to compare North Korea to a playground, a school playground. There's one first grader, and the rest of them are fifth graders. Who's stronger? Who's going to be more scared? Well, the first grader is obviously not going to be too pleased that they are surrounded by these giant ass fifth graders who very well could harm them. And so, this first grader, depending on how they are personality wise, one, they will either fly or they will fight. And in North Korea's case, they want to fight. We are the fifth graders as the United States. The rest of the world has their own little role and part in this school metaphor, and for some reason we always end up in stupid like food fights in the lunchroom and throwing rocks at the playground. Sometimes even to the point where kids are in the hospital with broken arms. And my thing is that I don't necessarily blame the first grader for being scared and using what they know from the fifth graders, who are very tough fighters. They're big and they're strong. And they will bully because it's a first grader. I don't blame the first grader for being scared and wanting to fight. I don't blame the first grader for wanting to stand up to those people and try to be as strong as them. Now, I don't condone things that North Korea does. This is not a speech about like humanitarian rights. This has nothing to do with that. This is only about nuclear arsenal and the threat of those weapons being used onto other countries. I don't believe that North Korea has a right to be threatening, but you also have to understand that this is coming from years and years of provocative actions from the fifth graders. The United States is a well-known bully throughout the world, and we all know that, even if we don't want to admit it. We get into a lot of wars. We have started a lot of wars. We're in wars right now. I don't think anyone up at my age, at 21, has seen peacetime. And I don't think that the North Koreans really want nuclear war. I don't think anyone in the world wants that, unless they are crazy. And, there are people like that. There are people who do seek those things, and that is another topic for another day. And that's a topic that the world can talk about on their own, especially because our national security is very important. International security, is very important. But that's not my issue. I think that North Korea does not want to be threatened or feel threatened by those who appear or try to appear stronger than them. In general, we do happen to have a stronger power. We are a superpower. The United States is a superpower throughout the entire world, as is Russia and China, who is North Korea's biggest ally. They supply a lot of goods to North Korea, but the main issue is that they North Korea doesn't exactly want this. And I know that we don't want this. We don't want this fight. And I know for a fact there are diplomatic ways to go about this. I've heard, I'm not entirely sure of the facts on this part, but I've heard before that they have tried to speak to us before. And if they haven't, why the hell are we not trying? Do you know how easy it would be to just not threaten others? When someone says, "Hey, you are freaking me out," you're like, "I'm going to keep provoking you." Do you really want to do that? Like, either that person's either going to fly or fight. Either the victim flies or they fight. And that is a terrifying aspect. A prospect? I'm not sure what the word is. But it's terrifying. You don't know what people can do. And these countries are people. They are run by people. They're filled with people. People who don't have control over the people who are running the country. And I truly believe that we need to leave North Korea alone. Don't be provocative. They are going to get nuclear weapons regardless of whether or not we do anything about it. I don't believe that they should be provoking us or anybody through testing missiles and shooting them into sea and testing hydrogen bombs and all that crap. Like, I don't think anyone should be trying to provoke others by doing that. But when you're a first grader, a scared first grader, filled with, like, in a playground filled with fifth graders who just want to harm you, or they think that they just want to harm you, it's a little hard to just say that I'm just gonna fly, you know? Because there's no guarantee that first grader is gonna get out of it. So, fighting is North Korea's way of defeating the fifth graders. And so, I do believe that we should step down from these provocative measures, the defensive measures, and all these steps that we are taking. Because in North Korea's eyes, we are hurting them, we're scaring them. Kim Jong-un isn't exactly the most human person in the world, but he is human, okay? And I highly, highly doubt that what he really wants for his country is to fall. And I've read plenty of times that the fall of North Korea wouldn't be very good. It really wouldn't be. Let the guy run his country the way he wants to run it. I know how fucking stupid that sounds, but unfortunately, we cannot be the world's policeman. We cannot always try to make everything bend to our wishes. That's something an abusive boyfriend does. What are we? An abusive husband? Why don't we just stop? Stop provoking. I just don't get it. I don't think that they are wrong in trying in wanting nuclear weapons, and they are going to get them whether or not we try to stop them. And you know what? I don't think that they are going to detonate them unless they feel threatened. And they are starting to feel threatened because we are going a little overboard. However, I will say that I don't think the United States has ever had a desire to actually do anything harmful to North Korea. But North Korea does not know that. They don't know that, and they will not understand our true intentions because we don't talk about them. We don't say, we don't have any plans to bomb you, but why are you so worried? No, we just kind of leave things out in the open and make them worry for themselves. And it's fucked up, kind of, you know? It's kind of fucked up. They're going to get them whether or not we stop it or try to stop it. So I honestly believe that if you improved relations with this country, this impoverished country where their people are suffering because you, us, the United States and our allies, are too afraid to do anything about it. We too are afraid of them as they are afraid of us. But we have the power over them. They're the first grader in this situation. We can make the shots. They are so terrified that they feel like that they have to make the shot first in order to prevent us from doing it first. They don't want to be harmed. So we need to step up and stop being the world's policeman, because we all know how bad that works out for us. We are in a recession. We have been in a recession for a long, long time. I mean, it's fucking 2008, and people are barely like going by. Let's focus on our country, less on others. And that's my final statement. Leave North Korea alone, I guess. Really.